This is Elizabeth Clare Brewington with Discover Brightside. And lady, you've been discovered on the Brightside channel. So
True.
tell us about your story and how you got started in this amazing journey of being a Pickytarian.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for having me. It's great to be here. I'll start again with introductions. My name is Laide. I always say rhymes with Friday. Yeah, so I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. So when it came to Pickytarian, I think I mentioned earlier, the name came because I'm a picky eater, but I'll start a little bit about the journey. I used to host events and parties with friends, and I had a roommate at the time, and we only had like maybe four dishes. And so 4 plates rather. And so when you're hosting a dinner party for like 12 people, you don't really have like enough for that. And so I would always find myself going to like Party City or Amazon to like find the nicer looking plates. And I noticed that whenever I brought those back, my guests would be like, "Oh, these are really cute plates, Lide. Where'd you get them from?" And then I started, but the thing was, all these plates were made of plastic. And I started wondering, like, is there any sort of compostable sort of options out there that are cute but are still functional? And when I was looking at them, I found that they were all sort of boring looking. It was all like square or round or brown or white. They sort of just lacked design and just modern aesthetics. Um, and I thought about the idea for a very long time. I was like, I had it for like 6 years. And I always told myself, like, if I can't get an idea out of my head for 6 years, for a very long time, but in this case, 6 years, I will pursue it. And so in 2020, there was COVID, people were like using a lot of single use items. And then I was like, let me actually think about this idea again that I've had and see if it has any legs. And I just created like, a fake website one day, just put it online, put, $50 in ads just to kind of see if anyone's interested. And people were clicking the link, and I was like, oh, maybe there's somebody cares about this and somebody thinks it's interesting. Because I've always told my friends and family, and they're like, it's a great idea, but those are your friends and your family. I was like, I need somebody who doesn't know me to like actually see if this is a good idea or not. And so in 2020, I was like, you know what, let's just do it. And so I started designing, came up with a design, worked with a friend of mine, come up with a design for the product. And then started the process of manufacturing it, and here we are today. So happy to dive deeper into that, but that's the short and long of it.
But it must have been a big investment because you had so much research done, and I don't know if you can share some of that, but tell us about the product development process. Because how long did it take, and did you have help? And I thought this is really very, very well done. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, the product development process was interesting. So, a big background, I have worked in manufacturing in my past, like my past career. I've worked for like consumer electronic companies. So, I've gone a lot to Asia. I've seen a lot about the process of getting a product from zero to one, a physical goods product. So, I sort of knew what to do and what to expect there. But as far as product development happened, I think we designed the product in 2020, late 2020. I kind of finalized it fall of 2020, early 2021. And then I happened to find a factory. I thought I would actually find my factory through my contacts because I had some contacts from like my past companies that had built like packaging and things like that. But all the ones I had, nobody really had the sort of idea that I wanted in mind. I actually called a lot of factories in the US being like, hey, I see you make plates. I have this idea. Do you want to help me? And everybody was like, no, we don't do like contract manufacturing, like you're small. We only work with like, the Hefties and Dixies of the world. Like we don't do any of this stuff. And so I finally found one actually on Alibaba. I was like looking, I was like, let me see, actually somebody can do this for me. And then I found a factory on online, and they had some vision that I had. They had a sense of what I was looking for, and they were willing to also take a bet and do that with me. And so we started that process in 2021. Went through the first iteration. You get some like small prototype, see if it meets some of the requirements from a design perspective, but also a quality perspective. And then did that for a while, and then eventually settled on like a final design and a batch that I wanted, and then started that process. And so officially, I was hoping to launch the product in 2022, fall for the holidays, but there were supply chain delays. It was all a mess, and then didn't officially start selling until like Q1 of 2023. So there's a bit of delays there, but that's really the process. It was just me finding a factory, using my knowledge in manufacturing and design to then do this from zero to one. And for the most part, it was pretty much me. I had a few contractors that helped me here and there, but it was pretty much me doing a lot of a lot of the heavy lifting.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's just a great story. Wow.
Yeah.
And just in the middle of, because we started our business in 2019 too, and
Oh
we
wow.
COVID, yeah. And nobody realizes, but COVID had a huge impact on businesses.
Did.
Yeah, so this is all you, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yes, so tell us why you thought about being so sustainable and biodegradable, and then the great charitable work that you do, which I think is amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, for me, I think I wanted, this is meant to be a product. The whole point of Pickytarian is we make, fancy compostable party tableware for special events where you can't always reuse. If you're having a large dinner party, you don't have enough dishes, or you're having a wedding, you're like, it's too expensive to rent dishes, but it's also a lot more to do cleanup. I can't afford to do that. Oh, I just don't have the bandwidth to do that. So it's really we're meant to be like a premium alternative when reusables are not available for you. So we're not like people ask me like, can I use this every day? I'm like, it's not really meant for daily use. It's
No,
meant for like that event where you like absolutely have to use disposables, and then we want you to use a nicer alternative. And so for me, it was really important that the materials that were made with it were, plastic free, compostable, and really just non-toxic and not, poisoning you what you eat on your plates, but also like not doing that much harm to the environment. And so that's really sort of the idea around it because it is a single-use product. But we make it such that our cutlery actually is reusable. You can put those in the dishwasher. You can wash them, use it as many times as you want. Our plates actually can handle quite a bit of food, and they're microwavable. They're microwave safe. They're pretty sturdy. But like at the end of the day, it's like the point is that if you're going to use something like ours, like if you're going to use single-use disposables, use something that is not just great to look at, but also functional and not adding more to the plastic waste that we have in our landfill today.
now, what's the pricing? Are you more pricier than, of course, because it's, yeah. So
Yeah, why should not? Like it's one of those things where we're like a premium product. So obviously like there's a standard for disposables that's really cheap. But I think compared to like other compostable products that are out there, we're actually comparable. Like our cutlery is very cheap. You can buy a pack of 25. So like you can get 25 forks, 25 spoons, 25 knives. So like that's 75 pieces in total. And you get it for like under $15, which is
yeah.
very comparable to like all the other options that are out there. The plates are a little more expensive, but like compared to other sort of nicer looking plastic plates that are out there, it actually is like pretty much on point. I think a lot of it is just getting people to be aware of the product and what we are about. Because we find that when people actually get the product in hand, they love it and they're like, oh, it's actually not that expensive when I like now that I've seen it in my hand. Because it's like they have to see it to then be like, oh yeah, you're right, it's actually not that bad. But I think initially when you're comparing it to like, 100 pack for $1 at like, your local grocery store, it is more expensive. But when you actually see the quality in hand, you're like, oh, this is great. One of the feedback I actually got was somebody said, you made it too nice. I feel bad, like having to like throw it away after I use it. And I was like, oh God, that's such a good feedback, but also bad. But thank you.
But there's an edible brand of these,
Yes.
and they were interesting. I don't know about the plates. I know about the utensils.
The utensils, yeah, they look interesting. I've looked into it. I was like, that could be an interesting idea. It's not off the table for us in the future, but it's something that I'm exploring in the back of my mind of, can we actually do something like that? And what would that look like?
We've tried the edible ones, and they're a lot of fun too. Yeah.
A little
So
crunchy to chew.
yes.
Oh,
We'll make sure there's a video at the end of this video so that you can actually see the products and enjoy
okay.
them as much as we are.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. Any more questions?
No, that's
All
it.
right. So if you can see it, I was trying to show it, but I'll do it later. This is amazing story, an amazing entrepreneur. What a great journey, and we are so proud of you. And
Yeah.
we wish you, you're woman owned, black owned. You've got it. You've got the whole story, and I absolutely applaud you for taking such a bold step with such a bold vision. And I wish more manufacturers thought about the planet and thought about you've literally thought about everything in this one product. So I think you're an inspiration, and
Thank you
you've
so
been
much.
discovered on Brightside, and we will try to get as many people to buy this product during Prime Days coming up. and also for the holiday season that's coming up. And
Yes.
uh, I think it's great because you're available on Amazon for those of you who want to just use it for your personal use. But then she also can cater for caterers or for wholesale, or if you are one of these stores that want to have some unique products. This is absolutely unique. And if you're having a corporate event, or the military, we do a lot of work with the military. And so this is also a great product if you want to enter a pitch contest, which I'll tell you in a minute, or if you want to be in a contest. I think it's a great product overall. You
No,
want to discover Brightside? Make sure you hit the button and tell us what your website is.
yes. No, thank you again. I appreciate the opportunity to be on here. Before I get to the website, I did want to quickly say that we do donate 5% of sales. I forgot to answer your question earlier, to fight hunger and homelessness in our various communities. So we have an organization here in, I'm based in Los Angeles. There's an organization here called Grassroots Neighbors that I volunteer with, and we donate 5% of sales to them and other similar organizations. And that was really important for me because it's a way to give back. Most companies donate profit, but I wanted to donate sales because I
Very
felt like that was a guarantee that I will always be giving back because you may never be profitable, but at least I felt like I was having an impact in that manner as well. As far as the website, we are available on www.pickytarian.com. It's a little long, I apologize, but it's Pickytarian. It's kind of like if you were spelling vegetarian, but it's Pickytarian instead. And we also want to have some colors this fall for the Christmas holidays. So we'll have new colors launching this fall. So definitely stay tuned and check us out there.
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
Very good.
All right. Well, that's it for us for now, and we'll see you soon.